Y'all, it's Mittleman TV in the building, and today we got to talk about Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, and the location has officially been confirmed. It's going to be June 22nd in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center with Alexander Gosdick versus David Benavidez as the co-main event. I'm very disappointed, man, because about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, Gervonta posted on Twitter, and he teased all his fans that live in Chicago, Illinois. He posted Chicago question mark emoji with the thinking emoji. It made people really think that is Gervonta Davis going to bring big boxing back to Chicago? For those of you who don't know, Chicago hasn't had a big boxing fight since I recall ever. But if we're being honest, there's been a few big fights. I remember Monty Barrett versus Hasim Rahman at the United Center in 2005. That was like, what, 19 years ago? I remember Fernando Vargas fought Castillejos, or whatever that Spanish dude was, at the Allstate Arena. That was in like 2007. Paulie Malignaggi fought Juan Diaz at the UIC Pavilion. That was like in 2010. So there hasn't been a big fight in Chicago in a long time. So I really thought that Gervonta Tank Davis was going to give big boxing back to Chicago. You know, that would have made me have a lot more respect for Tank. I don't have much respect for the guy to begin with, but fighting in Chicago would have made me really open my mind to something. But, of course, Tank being the capper that he is, he was capping about fighting in Chicago all along. So he's going to fight in Houston, Texas. I don't understand why he picked Houston, Texas, but it is what it is. But nonetheless, I'm really excited for this fight between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, man. Frank Martin has been training real hard, and I think Frank Martin is taking him seriously. But more importantly, Tank hasn't been active. Tank hasn't fought in about 10 months, and I think Tank is going to be rusty. And he's so used and acclimated to fighting easy-to-hit Mexicans, not smart fighters, Mexicans, that going up against a smart fighter like Frank Martin, a guy who's strategic, a guy who's a pretty good counterpuncher himself, I think this is going to make for a very, very hard fight for Tank Davis, man. Tank is going to go through hell to get this win. I'm telling y'all, it's not going to be an easy fight. I don't expect an easy fight. And although I do think Tank will win the fight in a close one, I think Frank Martin is going to take this man through deep waters, man. After this fight is over, I think y'all going to change y'all opinion about Tank. Y'all going to think he's beatable, because he is beatable. But, you know, Tank minions, Tank media, they try to make it seem like he's not beatable. But anyway, it goes. Gervonta Tank Davis lied about fighting in Chicago, Illinois. He's fighting in Houston, Texas. It is what it is.